So I've had the Blue Business Plus for 1 year now, and it is by far one of the best and most underrated credit cards that I have. Most people think that you need a business to get approved for this card, but that's actually not true. You can get approved with or without a business. So in this video, I'll show you how to get approved, give you a deep dive into the rewards and redemptions, and also show you some more advanced strategies with this card as well. So I want to start with the rewards of this credit card because there basically isn't any other card like it. All the other no annual fee, flat rate cards give you 2% cash back on everything. But if you want to use that cash back for travel, you have to get that issuer's travel credit card that has an annual fee. The Blue Business Plus is the only no annual fee credit card that gives you 2 points on everything and allows you to send the points to all of American Express's transfer partners at a 1-to-1 ratio without another credit card attached to it. The only other credit cards that give you a flat rate like that and give you access to transfer partners are the $395 Venture X and the $495 Built Palladium card. So with this card, you're going to earn 2 points per dollar spent up to $50,000 spent, meaning you can earn 100,000 American Express points a year with this card. After that $50,000 of spend, it's only going to earn 1 point per dollar on every purchase. I'm not spending anywhere near that. I use this card for just business purchases, and last year I only spent about $6,500. Also, if you're using this card for just personal use, there's a good chance that you're not spending $50,000 either. But if you do have a small business like me, this is kind of the perfect card because it gives you that flat rate on everything. I use this card entirely for YouTube, and the spend categories are all over the place. If I look at my recent transactions, I bought a couple of finance books for Amazon. I then bought something for Etsy for my other channel for a thumbnail. And then I was paying an editor and a thumbnail guy and then a couple different subscriptions. So this is perfect for someone like me whose spend categories are all over the place and they're not going to fall into traditional categories like dining, gas, or groceries. This is also a good card for someone that just wants a good catch-all card for all their personal spend as well. Like I mentioned, this card earns 2x points on everything, but these are membership rewards points that they're earning, which are quite valuable. So if you use them right, that's like the equivalent of earning 3 to 4% cash back on everything. And besides this being one of the best catch-all cards, there's also some advantages of it being a business card as well. It is essentially an invisible card. It doesn't report to any of the credit bureaus, which means that you can apply for this card, get a massive limit, buy a Rolex, then declare bankruptcy for your business and resell that Rolex after, and then just have pure profit. No, what it means is that this isn't going to affect your personal credit in any way, so your credit score is not going to dip at all. There's not going to be a new account reported on your credit, and none of your credit utilization will matter either. Also, if you're into the credit card game and you want a Chase card, it's also not going to report to your personal credit either and take up a 524 slot. Also, if you've already gotten an American Express card before, you won't even get a hard pull when you apply for this card because American Express only hard pulls your credit the very first time you get a credit card. So you can essentially get this card with no hard pull and no impact at all to your credit. Also, on top of that, American Express is also going to give you a sign-up bonus. You're going to get 15,000 membership rewards points after you spend $3,000 within the first 3 months of opening up this card. So as far as the sign-up bonus goes, I would consider this to be one of really the only weaker sides of this card. It's by no means a bad sign-up bonus. You're still getting usually about $200 worth of value, which is standard with no annual fee cards. But the sign-up bonus has been the same for as long as I remember. And I think this card would be a lot more popular if American Express did boost that up a little bit. Unlike American Express's other cards, the sign-up bonus is almost never elevated, but you will sometimes see targeted offers to you specifically. I've seen some offers for 25,000 points, 50,000 points, and even 75,000 points, but those are like really rare and you almost never see them. So it's not really worth waiting around for it to hopefully get one of those offers if you do want this card. There's also another part of the sign-up bonus, and that's that you get 0 APR for the first 12 months on this card. Now, you could argue that that's very valuable because it's basically a 0 APR business loan for an entire year. But if you are looking at this card, you're most likely in the beginning stages of business, and the best business models, in my opinion, don't require any capital to start up. And the truth is the bank wouldn't give these 0 APR loans unless they were making money off of it more times than not. I'm not saying that this is necessarily a bad thing. If you're a subhuman that does something like drop shipping or Amazon FBA, it could be something that you could use, but just make sure you're being careful with it. Now I want to talk about how to actually redeem the points that you're earning, because this can actually make or break the card for you. So like I mentioned, this card earns membership rewards points, which is either really good or really bad news depending on if you travel or not. The points guy values Amex points at 2 cents per point, which basically means that every point is worth 2 cents. So if you were going to use these for a flight that is $400, you could expect to use about 20,000 Amex points. If we're using that logic, then the 2x that this card gives us is really like 4% back on everything, and the 15K point sign-up bonus is really like a $300 sign-up bonus. However, there is a lot of nuance with cent per point, and a lot of it depends on what kind of travel you're doing, if you even know how to transfer out and use those credit card points for travel in the first place. Where American Express points are really good is for flying internationally, which means outside of the United States. And they're especially good if you like to fly first class or business class outside the United States. You can still get pretty good value out of Amex points domestically with the 3 Alliance programs and then Delta as a direct transfer partner, but they're usually only going to be about 1.3 to 1.5 cents per point when you do that. Now, what you don't want to do with these points is redeem for cashback or a statement credit, because that's only going to give you 0.6 cents per point. If you were to do that, it would be like this card earning 1.2% cashback, which is obviously really bad. But the point is that Amex points are really good if you want to travel internationally, but they aren't good if you just want straight cash back or you don't want to travel. If that is you, then this card has a twin brother, the Blue Business Cash, and that earns 2% cash back on everything instead of 2 points, and also gives you a $250 sign-up bonus instead of the 15,000 point sign-up bonus. All right, now I want to talk about the approval for this card, because most people don't understand how easy it is to get a business credit card. The application is going to look almost the exact same as a personal card application with a couple differences. But the main things that I want you to keep in mind is, 1, you can apply with just your social security number, and 2, you don't actually need a business to apply. I know a lot of people that want to be YouTubers that haven't even started a channel yet apply for this card and be approved because they're intending to start a business. And there's also a lot of simple side hustles like babysitting or walking your neighbor's dog, or even Uber is Lyft, that technically count as businesses. Basically, what I'm saying without directly saying it is that Amex doesn't actually care if you have a business or not. They have so many applicants and they make money off interchange fees anyways. So you can literally just go and apply for this card, is basically what I'm saying. Now, when you go to apply, if you do have a business, just enter in all the information. But if you haven't started a business yet, you can just put your personal information for a lot of the business information. So on the application, it's going to ask things like your business name and your address. For that, you can just put your own name and then your personal address. The 2 most important things on the application are years in business and then gross annual business revenue. They usually like to see 1 to 2 years for years in business. And then for gross annual business revenue, you can put what you can expect to earn in the next year. And they like to see at least $1,000, because they're not going to approve you for a line of business credit if you expect to earn nothing in the next year. Like I said, even Uber or babysitting or whatever random side hustles that you have can count for this. As far as credit limits, they give almost everyone a $10,000 limit. I have seen exceptions. Some people get lower and some people get higher, but it seems like 9 times out of 10, you're going to start with a $10,000 limit. But even if you do get a lower limit, it's not really going to matter for 2 reasons. One is the 3X rule with Amex, and that's after you have your account open for 60 days, you can then request 3 times your credit limit, and most of the time Amex is automatically going to approve you for that. So if you have a $10,000 limit, you can request a $30,000 limit after 60 days. Or if you had a lower limit like $2,000, you could request a $6,000 limit after those 3 months. The second reason why it doesn't matter is because this card gives you expanded buying power. So it actually lets you go over your credit limit to buy things, because this is a business card, which is cool. Just know that even if you are using the 0 APR for the first year, anything over the credit limit has to be paid off like a charge card at the end of every month. And make sure you pay it off, because if you don't, then you're going to get penalty APR, which applies to your whole balance. Really, the only downside to this card is that it has a foreign transaction fee, but I have so many other cards that don't have a transaction fee, and I'm not really traveling with this card. It kind of just sits in my sock drawer as I use it for all my different subscriptions and business purchases. But if you do travel a lot and you want a business card that has no foreign transaction fee, this probably isn't the one. All right, so now that you understand basically how this card works and how to get approved for it, I want to talk about why I chose it as my only business credit card and why I trust Amex with everything, and then some more advanced strategies you can run with it. The main reason why I really like this card, besides everything that we've already talked about, is that it comes from Amex. And Amex has the best customer service out of any credit card issuer. I can tell you like 10 different stories where they've come in clutch for me. With one of my other cards, I got scammed on Craigslist when I was trying to buy a car. They had me do like a fake fax report. It was really dumb. It was my fault, but Amex didn't ask any questions at all, and they completely reimbursed me for that. I also once switched over my bank account and forgot to update the payment information for my automatic payments, so I got late fees on a couple of my cards, but I immediately changed to my correct bank and explained what happened to Amex, and they immediately gave me statement credits for all the different fees. They've also done a lot of small things like shipping cards overnight when I need them right away and product changing different of my personal cards. And also I can always get in touch with a real person within like 30 seconds. If you go to chat and just put talk to real person, they're going to connect you to someone, which is really cool. The other reason that I like it is that it automatically syncs up with QuickBooks. So I just put the information into QuickBooks and then all my business purchases are right there and they're really easy to categorize. I'm sure every other card does this, but I just wanted to mention it. So now for some more of the advancing that this card does is number one, it acts for an anchor for all the rest of your American Express points. So like I mentioned, Amex points give you pretty much the highest sign-up bonuses out of any cards. They have some really high bonuses for all their personal and business cards as well. But the catch is that all those cards come with really high annual fees. But if you want to get the cards for their bonuses and then cancel them after, your points are going to go away unless you have another Amex credit card. And what is good about the Blue Business Plus is that it's a no annual fee card, so it will anchor down and keep all your points safe if you want to cancel some of your annual fee cards but keep all your points. The other cool thing about this card is that it now fits into a bigger system, the American Express trifecta. It's been a couple years since anyone's actually talked about the Amex trifecta because previously, the Amex Platinum card was really bad. It was considered like a coupon book, but they refreshed the Amex Platinum, and even though it has an $895 annual fee, it's actually a much better card. What the Amex trifecta is 3 separate cards that work all together to form a credit card setup that complements each other. In this setup, the Amex Platinum would be your premium card that gives you things like lounge access and travel protections, while the Amex Gold card would be your card for grocery and dining, and then the Blue Business Plus would be your catch-all card for everything else. Now, this trifecta isn't perfect. You have to be okay with Amex's high annual fees and all the different statement credits that you have to use, but because of how powerful Amex points can be, I think that this trifecta, given that the Platinum is pretty good now, has a pretty good case for the right person. Let me know if you guys want a full video on the Amex trifecta. And also, if you want to see my live application from a year ago where I applied for the Blue Business Plus, you can click this video right here.